Okay, what are your thoughts? Are women with tattoos serious about relationships or just here for fun? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Tattoos, once a symbol of rebellion, have now gone mainstream. However, with their rising popularity, there's still an underlying question I get asked an awful lot by men, particularly when dating. Do women with tattoos take relationships seriously, or are they just here looking for some temporary fun with Chad? And is there still a double standard about women with tattoos versus men with tattoos? Let me know your thoughts. Okay, so to answer these questions, we need to dig deeper into the social studies, cultural attitudes, and modern social perceptions surrounding tattoos, especially in relationships. So let's break down the myths about women with ink and figure out what's really going on. If you're new to my channel, my name is Anna Jorgensen. I help good men just like you decode modern women so you can find, attract, and keep your keeper, or simply have better relationships with women if you prefer to stay single. And speaking of relationships, if you've been following my channel for a while, stay tuned to the end for an exciting new service I'm offering. Welcome to Just the Tip. All right, the reason we automatically make assumptions about people with tattoos or any other visible self-expression like hair is because our brains like to be efficient, and it's quicker to lump people into pre-established mental groups than to take the time to get to know them. And don't worry, everybody does this. In exploring this hot topic, we'll sift through psychological studies, cultural attitudes, and current social perceptions. Now, with newer research, 2023, we are going to unravel the intricate tapestry, diving deeper into the meanings behind inked skin and its impacts on modern dating. So here's an interesting point. The larger and more psychologically dark the tattoos, and the greater their number, the stronger the link to specific traits. Number one, the psychological perspective on tattoos. So research suggests tattoos are linked to various psychological traits. Now, does this mean women with tattoos are less serious about relationships? Actually, not always. According to studies like the one I'm going to post here, tattoos do correlate with higher incidences of mental health issues and risky behaviors. However, these studies also reveal many people with tattoos see them as personal symbols of resilience and self-expression. It's easy to jump to conclusions when you see a woman or anyone with visible ink, assuming she's more impulsive or rebellious, which can be true. However, some women use tattoos as a way to process difficult life experiences such as trauma. On the surface, pun, this reality may not seem like a selling point, but is such a woman less capable of a commitment? Well, not necessarily. If, like anyone else, she's worked on healing her psychological wounds from her past. A woman who wears her story on her skin may be emotionally aware and open to deeper connections if she's processed her trauma. For example, let's say you meet a woman with a phoenix tattoo and it's on her arm or wherever. Instead of assuming she's all about living on the edge, consider that the phoenix might symbolize overcoming past relationships or hardships, making her possibly more grounded and emotionally ready to commit to the hard work of a relationship. The question men need to ask themselves is this: what's your psychological perspective when thinking about dating women with tattoos? How do you view women with tattoos? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if there are any ladies watching, with or without tattoos, what are your thoughts about tattoos on men and women? 2, the link between tattoos and personality traits. So other research from 2010 has shown that people with tattoos score higher on traits like impassivity and sensation seeking. So does this mean they're not looking for a long-term commitment? Not always. Now, while these traits suggest a preference for excitement and novelty, they don't inherently contradict the desire for stable long-term relationships. In fact, some other studies from 2007 and 2012 have shown that while women with tattoos are often viewed as more promiscuous or rebellious, there is no significant difference in actual behaviors between tattooed and non-tattooed individuals. Maybe they're all promiscuous, maybe they're not. Reminder that impassivity doesn't equal irresponsibility. People get tattoos for many different reasons, sometimes on a whim, sometimes after months of planning or even years. Now, it's true, Some women embrace a spontaneous lifestyle, but that doesn't mean those women are incapable of committing to a relationship. Now, such a woman could be just as interested in a lasting relationship as a woman without tattoos, even if she has a bold, adventurous streak. So, for example, let's picture this. You're on a date, and she mentions getting a tattoo after a spontaneous road trip. You could think, okay, she's probably not the relationship type. Exit stage left. But in reality, she might be telling you about one of the most memorable experiences in her life, which doesn't necessarily reflect on her approach to relationships. Now, example, I have a good friend with tattoos who's an amazing woman and would like to find her one and only. She didn't have childhood trauma. Her parents are still happily together after 50 years, and she doesn't have any mental health issues. I know it sounds crazy. And she's far less rebellious than I am with no tattoos. The question you need to ask yourself is, setting aside your tattoo bias, how do you feel about a woman who seeks sensation and adventure? Comment. If there are any ladies with ink still watching, do you see yourself as a sensation-seeking or boldly adventurous woman? Comment. 3, societal stigma around tattoos and relationships. So, yes, tattoos do still carry a certain amount of stigma, especially in more conservative circles, which could affect how people perceive women with tattoos in the context of dating. In another study, an older one but still relevant, they found the general population often viewed tattooed individuals as less mentally stable. Sorry, I didn't do the studies. Because society tends to associate tattoos with rebellion, women with tattoos may face unfair judgments about their seriousness in relationships. This can lead to assumptions that they're only interested in short-term flings or casual hookups, when in fact, many are seeking long-term meaningful connections, and many women without tattoos are also just simply looking for Netflix and chill, minus the movie. Society's stigma doesn't always match reality. Example, you meet a woman with a full sleeve of tats and assume she's just about having fun rather than looking for something serious. Those tattoos might represent her life's journey and values. You might miss out on a connection that could have been meaningful by making a quick judgment. However, having said that, most men and women have physical preferences, and if you are turned off by something physical, you are allowed to be. You are allowed to have preferences. Many women have shallow preferences as well. They're allowed just like you're allowed. It's up to each individual to determine how much they want to limit their options. The question you need to ask yourself is, how do you feel about the aesthetic of women with tattoos? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So, ladies with tattoos, do you feel a social stigma because of your tats? Comment below, and if you feel comfortable revealing it, let me know your age. 4, correlation between tattoos and mental health. Okay, this is the part you're not going to like me for, but I didn't do the studies. So, another paper study in 2015 says that there is a higher prevalence of mental health challenges amongst tattooed individuals, including issues like self-esteem and satisfaction with life. Does this mean a woman with tattoos isn't capable of a stable relationship? Okay, well, mental health struggles don't make someone incapable of love or commitment. However, it can complicate relationships and make it difficult to develop one. Some people with tattoos use their ink as a form of coping or as a way to reclaim their bodies after trauma, whether physical or emotional. People who confront their mental health issues can learn to be emotionally available in relationships because they have faced their demons head on. Example, you see a woman with several tattoos, maybe including one commemorating a difficult time in her life. Instead of assuming she's carrying too much emotional baggage for a serious relationship, which is what you want, consider that she might be more self-aware and capable of emotional intimacy than someone without tats who has never faced her issues and dealt with them. Example, when my brother-in-law died after decades of marriage, my sister and her 3 kids got tattoos of a bumblebee to represent family. Does she have mental health issues? Well, she was depressed for sure at the time, and that's natural. However, after a period of grief, she met a widower. They found comfort in their shared experiences of loss and have been together for over 5 years. She was never at any point looking for a short-term relationship. She was only looking for a long-term relationship. Just saying. Key point. Regardless of skin art, we tend to attract our emotional equal. So the question you need to ask yourself is, have you dealt with your demons? Whether you are a man or woman watching this, with or without tattoos, share your truth in the comments. 5. Tattoos as a symbol of independence. So women with tattoos often embrace independence and nonconformity, which might turn off those who expect more traditional relationship roles. But does this mean they aren't capable of a serious commitment? Not at all. Sorry. Being independent doesn't negate the desire for a relationship. However, many women with tattoos may prefer a relationship that respects their autonomy and individuality, possibly more so. They seek a man who will appreciate their independence rather than feel put off by it. So, example, on a date, she tells you how each of her tattoos represents a different chapter of her life. Instead of thinking she's too independent for a relationship, she simply values her own journey, something that could potentially enrich a relationship she gets into. So the question you need to ask yourself is, do you prefer a woman who is independent and or non-conforming or more traditional? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, ladies, do you feel ultra independent? Now, if so, do you have a tattoo? Comment. 6. The role of social media in tattoo trends. Oh my gosh, social media has played a massive role in normalizing tattoos, especially among younger women. While tattoos were once seen as fringe, platforms like Instagram have made them mainstream, including their appeal across various social groups among men and women. So tattoos are part of pop culture, basically, and many women get them because they just simply like the aesthetic. This doesn't mean these women are shallow or only in it for fun. The normalization of tattoos in the media has shifted the meaning of tattoos for them, making them more about personal expression than necessarily rebellion. Example, imagine she got a small tattoo after seeing her favorite artist's post about it. You might think she's just following trends and has no mind of her own. But for her, it could mean a symbol of her connection to a particular moment in her life or personal expression or some meaningful comment. Key point, younger women have grown up with tattoos being normalized, while older women who got inked when they were younger likely face less cultural acceptance, making their decision more significant at the time. So my question to all of you is, how does social media influence your perspective about dating a woman with tattoos? Has your view changed at all? How? And does your view differ between older women with tattoos and younger women with tattoos? And does your opinion about men with ink differ than women with tattoos? You may want to ask her when she got her tattoos, how long it's been since she's got her last tattoo. That might tell you something. She might tell you something. Okay, so the tattoo double standard. Historically, in Western societies, at the very least, men with tattoos have been seen more favorably than women with tattoos. This is because tattoos represent traits like risk-taking, rebellion, and yes, even status, qualities that women tend to find attractive in men, but men don't prioritize as much in women. Whether it's the military, a biker gang, or even a high security prison, traits like risk-taking and rebellion, often viewed as leadership or independence, boost a man's appeal. These traits hold less value for men when looking at women most of the time. Is this double standard fair? Maybe not. Things are shifting, but it's still a reality today. So, are women with tattoos serious about relationships? The point is, tattoos don't necessarily define a woman's desire or capacity for commitment. Research shows correlations between tattoos and certain psychological traits for sure. Traits don't necessarily dictate relationship behaviors. Whether a woman is covered in ink or has no tattoos, if you're not opposed to the visual aspect of ink, What matters is the person behind the tattoos and how they approach relationships. At the end of the day, tattoos are just skin deep. The real question is what's beneath the surface. Does she display real red flags that you should not ignore, or green flags that make her a unicorn? So many men get sucked in by charm, seduction, or simply physical attraction and end up broken, and brokenhearted. Do not let that happen to you. Make sure she has these 7 critical traits of a high value woman. That video is coming up next and is in the pinned comment. Ladies, you might want to watch that as well. Now, what about my new offer? If you're ready to stop wasting time on bad dates and finally meet the kind of women you really want, my new coaching program is exactly what you need. You'll learn everything from mastering online dating, if you choose to do so, to flirting, building true confidence with women, to finding your keeper, or simply getting something if that's all you prefer. Spots are limited, so click the link in the description or the pinned comment or this QR code, and let's get you the results you have been looking for. Okay, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. With or without tattoos, I love you all. Lots of love. God bless.